I've been thinking about this chili dog, and all of a sudden I heard the AC went out. I don't know what the AC has anything to do with my chili dog, but I still have big hopes for you. Okay, so I'm still here waiting for my chili dog. And I know you were telling me that I look different, right?
You do. So,
right?
Last episode, 2 episodes ago, right? You commented on the pink shirt I wore.
Yes.
Now you're commenting on the purple shirt I'm wearing.
Royalty colors.
Next week I might have lavender.
Oh, I love that.
It's kind of
love
between,
it.
Right?
Love it.
So, but what's up, man? You got a nice haircut.
Yeah, I took like 5 years off, just
you did.
And about 10 pounds off, right?
You
I look good.
You do. I think you did it for the show.
Thank you, because I got to compete with apparently a Calvin Klein / GQ / I don't know what model, and future actor, former NFL player. Talk about former NFL player.
Yes.
Who do we have today?
We have a special guest today.
And what is his special name?
And he's right here from Miami.
That's right.
83 national championship team.
Absolutely. UM.
I don't even think he needs introduction.
Mr. Number 99, Julio Cortes.
Thank you, guys.
My buddy, my brother. We had a good time.
Yeah.
So when did it start? Let's go back. And it seems like we do this every week.
Yeah.
I mean, these are really local boys. It's like Columbus.
Rockaway Junior High.
Rockaway
Elementary. St. Teresa.
Wachete.
Little Flower.
Wow.
Little Flower.
Well, that's Coral Gables.
That's where that was my first nursery right there. And then from there, I went to Rockaway Elementary. Yeah.
Wow. And you were playing football that time? Or
No, never. I was baseball all my life.
Yeah.
Football came in 10th grade.
I always thought, and I know you're going to hate this from me, but I always thought you were a better baseball player.
Everybody says that.
I mean, this kid would hit, I don't know, 500 for the season, played third base. Talk about a hot corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ball was scared of him. I mean, this guy was just unreal.
So,
and go ahead.
No, I was saying, if that's the case, you play baseball and football at Columbus?
Yeah.
So
I was baseball all my life.
What made you gravitate towards football opposed to sticking with baseball?
I became aggressive and I wanted to hit people.
That's what Miami does to you.
That's exactly what it was. I got upset, and I even told my dad, and my dad was heartbroken.
Right.
He goes,
because your dad was a big baseball fan.
And I grew up playing baseball.
So it had nothing to do with, okay, I have a better chance in this or this.
No, I had a better chance in baseball, yeah.
So you want to know my opinion?
Yeah, go for it.
He would have had a 12 to 14-year career in baseball. Absolutely.
Well, people say that, but you take away the injuries aspect of it, which is a big part of injury. I've been very fortunate, very lucky that I've been injury-free in a game like football.
Right.
And maybe it would have happened in baseball, but I didn't have the heart in it. If you don't have the heart,
you're right.
I don't and no regrets. No regrets at all.
We talked about that in other shows. I'm glad you brought that up, Julio, because there's so many boxes that you have to check off.
Well, not to interrupt you, but the most important box
is heart.
Is the heart. But for me, was an education, believe it or not, was to get a degree. And if I would have gone to baseball, none of that would have happened.
Because you would have gone straight to
I would have gone straight out of high school. I was drafted out of high school.
Who were you drafted by?
The White Sox.
Wow.
Ozzie Guillen.
Really?
Was one of the recruiters that recruited me when I was in high school. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't like to play baseball. I was bored with it. I had done it all my life, but football was different.
Yeah.
You hit someone. What'd you say? Oh, okay.
Let me tell you.
I got you.
I'm proud to say that I've watched probably a lot of your games.
Yeah. Didn't you wear my jersey a couple times?
I did. I did
have like pajamas with my name on it?
Oh, yeah, to impress the girls. I had to impress the girls. So I said, Julio, can I borrow the 99?
And I want it back.
Okay, I'm going to give it back to you. By the way, it shrunk.
It's because you grew? Or did the shirt?
No, I grew like this.
Did the nylon shrink? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. But, I think the funnest time, I mean, we have fun at Columbus and we have fun at UM. But you were on that 83 team, all right, at University of Miami, the first championship. And there's stories. I just want to, I want to make sure we're going to do this. We're going to confirm these stories because, a lot of them could become rumors and then people exaggerate the story. What happened in the tunnel?
Oh, the tunnel. Oh, wow.
Not the tunnel with the girl.
No,
The tunnel
the
while you were
Notre
playing.
You know, that's
Sad story.
the truth is.
Yes,
That whole
show
week,
is called The Ugly Truth. So
Okay.
good,
Is this
bad,
what
or
it's called?
ugly. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's called. So
I thought this was a Spanish guy. Sí, como no. What's anyway, we're playing Notre Dame in Notre Dame, but that whole week prior to that, they were saying stuff about the U.
Right.
Whether we were convicts or criminals is beside the point.
Right.
But they were saying these things, and Howard Schnellenberger was a master. He would put this stuff in our locker room, and I would come in to get dressed, and he would have something pinned on the back of my locker room. This is what they think about you, Julio. and then they would put it in Spanish. Usted es una persona mala. I mean, all these things were being.
Wow.
So he would work us.
Talk about the art of
So
manipulation.
also we get to the game, and guys, we walk out of the tunnel, or excuse me, out of the locker room into the tunnel, and we're about to walk through the uprights. And all of a sudden, the door on the other side opens up. The other locker room opens up. And Notre Dame spills out, and they're 5 feet in front of us.
And that usually doesn't happen.
It never happens. And it hasn't happened since. Because what happened after that was a 10-on-10, 15-on-15. Some guy was saying, hey, Cortes, you know good. You know good.
With an accent and everything?
Yeah, look, an Irish accent. And all I know is that we just started swinging, and it was over. And then they get us down through the tunnel. We go through the uprights, and we go to our side of the field. But now Notre Dame's going berserk. All the leprechauns and the fans are coming down to the field. So here comes Notre Dame. By the way, when we sat down, the fans started pelting us with dimes, nickels, and batteries.
Mm-hmm.
We had to put our helmets on. And the old stadium, they're right there behind you. Right there behind you.
Yeah.
So we had to get up and walk away onto the field, and now comes Notre Dame. And as they start coming through the tunnel, the fans come down to the field, and they push the team towards
straight
our
into
side.
Notre Dame. Right.
Now we have nowhere to go. It's a good excuse, right? We had nowhere to go.
Hey, you don't need an excuse, but go ahead.
All I know is we took off a couple helmets, and we just took out a couple gold kneecaps. And dude, it was 15-on-15, 20-on-20, and the game hadn't even started yet. It was so good.
Listen,
I get excited. It was the most physical game I've ever been involved.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I got punished because the tight end they had was a guy named Mark Bavaro.
Oh, I remember.
Who was a beast.
Right?
I hit this guy with everything, and he looked at me and he said, "Is that all you got?"
I didn't realize he went to Notre Dame.
I had to play him all day, man. That guy threw me everywhere. I'll admit it. I was like, timeout. Can I go to the other side of the field? This guy had me everywhere, but we won.
That's awesome.
We won.
Yeah.
And then after the game, we start walking the campus. Kozar, Kenny Calhoun, Eddie Brown, not Irvin, but a couple of these guys were walking the campus. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but the fans were following us.
Oh shit!
And getting in our face.
Yeah.
And they started pelting the bus. So as we're walking the campus, they had these little leprechauns and little statues everywhere. We were
kicking a leprechaun?
Yes, kicking the leprechauns over. Yeah, this was and then it happened a second time again 3 or 4 years later.
Oh my God.
As a kid, I remember those rivals, Notre Dame, Miami.
We talked the talk, to be honest with you. We did talk a lot. We had some guys there that were straight from Liberty City, man.
We
talked it, but we walked it.
Yep.
And no doubt. There was no fluff there.
That's what Miami was awesome.
Yeah.
Bad boys.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
You started the whole thing?
They're all local. All local guys.
All local guys?
What did we call it last week? The state of Miami?
The state of Miami.
Yeah. There's so much talent in South Florida.
Yeah.
What's happened is that we've lost a lot of to other teams that come down here and recruit.
Now we
Yeah.
We need Miami needs to have local coaches, people that know, like your Arquijos.
Yes, you're right.
Who were there in the past and who know the history, who knows what it takes. Your Ray Lewis's, they all come back and visit.
Yeah.
But unless you have the program on the same page.
Yeah. Ray Lewis is doing great, by the way. Now that you mentioned, but
yeah.
So after UM, you got drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, right?
I went as a free agent, 10th round to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was awesome. I made the first squad, the first travel team, I think they called it, special teams.
Right.
And it was awesome because the special teams, it was the best. We would have our own little competition on special teams.
Yeah.
Whoever got the ball first got $500. We had this thing called Dash for Cash. And we got paid well, but that Dash for Cash is when you got paid on the side for special things on special,
like UM used to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're college players. Yeah.
So Brother Kevin never did that at Columbus. So they never.
Not with me.
Not with you.
He kept me from getting thrown out, though.
When you first went to the league, in college, you left. You were like probably one of the best guys on the team. You go to the NFL, now you're just a rookie.
Man.
So I remember when I first went, I know we were talking earlier, I had to also sing a song. They gave me a banana as the microphone. I had to stand on top of a table, try to balance myself. Yeah. And I had to sing the entire song. We did DB night out. We go out and I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. I get to go out with all the guys. And all of a sudden I'm getting the bill for like 10 grand. So do you have any stories like that as far as the hazing goes?
I had one. I had a few, but I can't think that I can say it on air here.
Yeah, you can.
Say
anything. You can say anything here. This is the ugly truth.
They would come into our dorms with fire extinguishers and just light us up.
Really?
And I got tired of it because I had my Cuban coffee maker.
Yeah,
I had my locker room with this punter. I can imagine, the punter wasn't going to do anything, right? So I had my coffee maker every morning, and guys would come up and line up for my Cuban coffee, and man, I had them all. But for the same reason, they came looking for you. A guy named Jacob Green, defensive tackle. Man, he kicked that door in. And he was kicking the doors in. And all of a sudden, I see him coming to my door, and I put my back up against the door, and he turns the handle. It doesn't open. I get out of the way, sit down, and next thing he knows is he comes back, and he opens up that door, and in comes that fire extinguisher. Mm-hmm. And I was behind the door, and when he put that fire extinguisher in there, I kicked it up, and that fire extinguisher hit him in the mouth. Oh, we were going to the Detroit Lions the next day. Right there at 4 a.m, Coach Knox has a meeting, and everybody is now at 4 a.m. going to this meeting. And I say, okay, my days are numbered here. I'm done. I'm cut right now
because of fire.
And he goes up there, and the guy who Jacob Green's in the front row with a bag of ice on his face, and I'm sitting in the back in the dark because I don't even want him to see me. And he says, these young men are coming here fighting for their lives, fighting for their job, and you are messing with them. Why don't you come up here with that fire extinguisher and let me show you where I'm going to put that fire extinguisher? And when he said that to Jacob Green, I was like, I'm in. And it wasn't that easy after that because you become a marked man. But I had to sing every time. Every camp you had to sing, and Julio sing. I just sing. So I go up there and I would sing. But you run out of songs.
Yeah.
So I started singing in Spanish to him. And I started making up the words, ustedes son this and that. And I started adding my own words, not very flattering words, like you queer, you're this, you that, and I didn't think they knew what I was saying. And all of a sudden, one of the guys in the back, Dave Jefferson from Carroll City High School, he lifts up his hand and says, hey, man, this guy's calling us a bunch of queers. So anyway, for the rest of the week, it was cleaning up the trays and all that stuff, which is what they make you do.
Yeah, carrying their pads, getting them their drinks.
All that stuff. Pick up their trays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other stuff that we won't get into, but.
Yeah, you can't talk about everything.
No. A couple of times the pads would be up on top of the rafters. We were training in Seattle, East Cheney, Washington. And they would throw my pads up on the rafters, and you come in looking for your clothes, and it was gone. Canadians were different. The Canadian league where I played was
because
fun.
you went.
I went to Edmonton, and that was fun.
Yeah,
because these Canadians, they drank like fish.
Yeah,
every locker room had a keg.
Right.
And at halftime, you go in there.
Oh, I love it.
Drinking at halftime.
Sit down and draft.
I think that's like rugby.
Yeah,
my biggest. Remember visiting? We played Auburn in the Meadowlands, and the next day it was the Steelers were playing the Jets in the Meadowlands. So Kozar gets some passes to go see the Steelers.
Right.
Now, these are the old Steelers, right?
Yeah.
First person I see, Jack Lambert. I'm like, that's it, dude. That's all I wanted to see.
Right.
I see Jack Lambert, and he's got a beard. He's got a beer in his hand, dressed in shorts and grays. He's got a beer in his hand, and he's got a pack of Marlboro rolled up in his sleeve, like 4 hours before kickoff. I don't know how they did it.
So that's a complete different aspect of how football is now. Guys smoking cigarettes and
beers.
So how do you think the game has evolved now compared to back then? Like, it was way more physical then because there really was no rules. Just stay inside the white lines was it.
Yeah, I made it because of my speed and because of the tenacity.
Right.
You couldn't do that now. I see the guys. I go to the U.
Yeah.
And I talk to these kids, and I see the size of them, and I see what they're benching and what they're squatting. You can't give talent, there's no doubt, but if they have a little bit of talent with all that other physical performance that they have, it's incredible. I could not play in today's college level, much less the NFL. I think personally,
That's crazy.
I hope it happens because then I'll go play baseball now instead of.
Listen. You should be motivated. We had right before you, we had a 40-year-old fighter that just
amazing
started his career, basically.
Amazing that he's that
incredible.
Yeah.
There is a story that I want to bring up.
These stories, they get old. As you get older, they get better.
They get better, yeah, because you start adding stuff.
I didn't shoot the guy though, by the way. Right?
No, you didn't. No, you put a rock through his window this big. I'm not going to.
It wasn't
that
story. Big though.
No, yes, it was.
That big.
Well, it's years later. It started like this, and now
it grew. The rock grew.
The Gator story. I want to know the Gator story. What'd you do with the Gators?
What, the dead Gator?
There you go, the dead Gator.
Man, this was passed on. Okay, I get a room.
What do you mean passed on? Like a tradition?
Tradition.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to surprise you with this one. We slept. There was a 34. There's a dormitory, 3 levels. Okay, they would close off the stairs from getting to the roof of my apartment where I was living. Right. Jim Kelly had this tradition of burning garbage in the stairwell. Jim Kelly started this. Okay. And he would burn garbage in the stairwell, and the smoke would go out. Anyway, I continue the tradition. So I get these rookie roommates, Rick Arango.
Right.
And I leave to play racquetball. Rick Arango yells out, "Oh, it's cleaning day here at the 34X." Next thing I know, he's cleaning up the apartment with boxes of pizza, beer cans, beer bottles, furniture, wood paneling. Things that shouldn't be going in there, he was shoving it in there. I leave, I come back, and I look up, and I see a trickle of smoke out of that stairwell. And I'm like, ooh, they must be burning garbage again. Sure enough, I go up, I throw my garbage in the well, and as I come down, there's Coral Gables' finest fire department. And I'm like, nah, this ain't nothing to do with me. Dude, I'm on a flight to Seattle. And I see my name in USA Today.
Oh, shit.
Looking at felony first degree.
You're a kid.
Janet Reno, the district attorney, wants my head on a platter.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, dude, I was playing racquetball. I didn't even do this. But I was the only senior in that classroom.
Oh.
I had all these other freshmen. And when the police showed up, they said, "What's going on here?" "Oh, this is Julio's room." That was it. Where's Julio? He's on a flight. Well, they found me.
Conspiracy on information.
Yeah, too much. That was that one.
So Julio, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? Like in your life?
I do a lot of years ago. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Tony, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know what we're going to do. So I got into local real estate. That went really well. Meaning South Beach before it was South Beach. You know.
Right. I remember.
The Grove before it became the Grove.
Right. I remember that too.
So that all went well. And I sold a lot of those pieces and I went to Costa Rica 20 years ago. Wow. And I've been buying land down there. And I just got back last week. and it's a beautiful place, and it's where I'm at right now. I've got a lot of investment.
What do you have going on there? I know that you're
land. I've got a lot of land that I own, and I've
Right.
got some cabins on some other pieces of land that I flip them. I'll fix them up and put water to it, electric
Nice.
to it.
and so
flip 'em.
you're doing that now.
Yeah, that doesn't go away. That's just you hold these properties and they're out there for sale
Right.
all the time.
And-
But then I've got Medicare. My insurance is what I do. I do
Got it.
insurance. I have a brokerage, an insurance brokerage,
Okay.
and it's Medicare
It's going
insurance.
well for you.
That's fantastic.
But you're not here. You're in. You're living where?
I'm on the West Coast,
Got it.
Sarasota.
A lot better in Miami,
Miami
for
just-
you,
Miami
for your
just
health,
out, yeah,
for your health,
for my well-being.
for your well-being.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to come here, and I find where I came out of, and
Right.
it's just not for me anymore.
No,
I can't do it.
and I know that you've been through a lot in your life.
Well, I was a convict, like you guys were talking. Not
I know you had an incident.
I met
Would you
God
like-
in jail.
Are you okay to talk about that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, great.
As long as you don't talk about my homosexuality, I'm okay.
Okay, perfect. We won't touch on that.
All right.
We're gonna go
And
ahead.
my wife doesn't like when I talk about that.
Okay, no, we won't touch on that. We'll talk. We'll only talk when you went to jail. What happened there?
The last time was
How many times?
well, just too many times. Too many.
Really?
Yeah, too many times. Too many stupid times. Fighting and stuff like that is what it was for. Always. Even at an older age, I was just fighting, man.
So what happened? So
The
you go
last
to jail.
one was the last one was just I was a
How long ago
divorce,
was this?
7 years ago, 8 years ago.
All right.
The last time, and I went to my house, and my wife was in there with a man, and I'm surprised that I came out of it, but that no one got killed that day.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
Knowing you.
Me too.
Yeah. So, think God had anything to do with that?
Maybe not at that moment. I think he let me know that this was not the right woman for you. That's the first thing he let me know. But in that jail, I remember how useless I was and how I had no one to go to. I was in Sarasota. I didn't know anybody. Didn't have a number to call. And I just realized I got nothing here. Lord, God, I hope you exist.
Yeah.
And if you do, I need your help. And he did. And when he did, I'm not a hypocrite.
Right.
I'm not going to ask someone to help me and then turn around and say, okay, thank you. See you later.
Right.
No way. So I kind of changed right there. And I thanked him for getting me out of the pit that I was in. And it was incredible because everything was taken away. Literally your sons, your house, your income, it's all taken away. And then by his grace, it's given back. And not only given back, but it's like 10 times.
So would you say you're born again? Would that be a correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Born again is a word that I hear a lot because I made the choice this time to ask for help. Where when I was baptized as a Catholic, my mom did it for me.
Right,
Mom,
of course.
hey, here you go. You're going to be Catholic. Here you go.
Yeah, we have no choice.
There's some holy water and go out
But
the door.
it wasn't a bad gig for you because you could sit all week and then we could go to confession and we could tell our confessions to the priest.
No.
And 10 Hail Marys, 10
Yeah,
Our Fathers.
I know.
And we can start again. It's like a clean slate.
Yeah.
But that didn't work for you.
No, and it's a little different because I went to a Catholic high school, but I'm not a Catholic. I consider myself a Jesus Christ follower.
Awesome.
A person of Christ, a child of him. And why do I say that? Because I remember going to Columbus High School and the fathers and the brothers would talk to us about the Bible. They would read it to us. But you know what? I want to read it.
Right.
Don't tell me what it says. Don't tell me what it tastes like. Don't tell me what I'm looking at. I want to do it.
Right.
So once that hit me and I started looking into things like that, it was like, wow. And it just once he revealed himself, once God said, look, I am who I am. And I remember running the bases once when I was like 8, 9 years old. And I remember Arrested Estrada, Miami boy.
Oh, I remember.
Arrested?
Big O.
Big O was firing aspirin. He was throwing BBs, baseball. And I went up there for the first time. I see this big black kid on the mound throwing BBs. And I remember, God, I hope I hit this ball. I was 9, 10 years old.
Wow. Wow.
I hope I hit this ball. And I hit that ball, and I remember running those bases and yelling, he's real. He's real. He's real. Like that. And I never followed him, though. I never cared. Nothing
You did that because you prayed that you would hit the ball.
Yeah, because I wanted to get a hit, and I hit it against the most dominating pitcher at that time at 9 years old, was Orestes.
It's really refreshing. It's awesome to hear you say this because, as you very well know, I was also in prison, and I had several experiences, but one in particular, made me basically turn to him and say, hey, listen, same thing that happened to you. If you're for real,
I need you now.
Either.
And I can't believe he even came. He even answered. I mean, why would he answer me? I have
no idea why you would answer me either.
Amazing.
But he's always there. So and so I did. I asked for help, and there was. So you know what I do now, Julio? When shit gets difficult, basically I stop, I pause, I look up, and I said, hey, you got this? All right, great. I'm out.
That's it. He wants you.
And that's it.
He wants you to trust him.
It's amazing, right? And that was part we were talking about, our guest previous. We were talking about that because he also, had a little stint in prison. And it's really great. It's better than therapy. It's better than spending money in psychiatry and all these other therapy crap out there. So, one of the things that we talked about was that we were able to embrace who we are, and within that, our relationship with the Lord and or with your higher power, whoever you want it to be. But in my case, and in Julio's case, with the Lord, and this is part of that change, that process. I think that's why we're still here, right?
Oh my goodness! I mean, I was so wicked. I was doing and saying things to women and to everybody. It was foul. It was foul. Yeah. And I look back now, and I don't say the words that I used to say.
Good.
And that's a great indication to me that he is in my life, and
that's awesome.
He really has. And it's not for everybody, I guess. I don't know who it cannot be for, because
that's terrific.
I had everything and I lost it. Well, I got it back.
I think your spirituality is a testament of who you are now and of what you've accomplished. And I think it's wonderful, because I swear to you that since I know you all my life, I said, is Julio going to make it past 40? Is Julio going to make it past 50?
I was worrying about 18. I remember, if I can make it to 18, that means I'm okay.
Yeah, I got so many stories about this guy. I mean, it's crazy. But I don't know if you have any questions for us, Julio, for myself, or for Nick, your former NFL colleague. And if not, I want to thank you for coming out and joining us. I wanted to set the record straight about the tunnel.
Yeah.
And who started that whole thing?
I didn't start it. Okay. Let's just be sure. I didn't start it. Let me add to it.
You fueled the fire.
The running back was named Alan Pinky.
Right.
That was the running back. Here's what happened. He had an uncle with him in the tunnel.
You're kidding.
And he started bad-mouthing us to the Hurricanes. And he mentioned number 99, Cortes, good. That's what started it. Because one Dolphin game, I was there with Kozar, and Jerry Faust was the coach of Notre Dame. He's there. And Jerry Faust comes up to me and says, oh, so I hear you're the one that started the fight at the tunnel. And I go, Coach Faust, it was your guys. And he goes, I know. So
they started, but you ended it.
We won.
We won.
They wanted the game and the tunnel.
We won.
That's great. Well, thank you for coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Safe travels. I love you, my brother.
Good seeing you.
Awesome.